If I were to crown a winner for this week already on a Monday, it would be Texas Republican Tony Gonzales. And if I were to crown a loser, it would be Tim-Walz. Because Representative Tony Gonzales was elected back in 2021 after then Governor Tim-Walz served 6 terms in Congress and claimed to be the, quote, senior most enlisted service member to have been elected to Congress. Turns out that wasn't entirely true, meaning that after serving 20 years in the Navy, Tony Gonzales was the senior most enlisted service member elected to Congress, and he never ran on that or held him up on that pedestal because Tim-Walz lied about his position. This is a tweet posted from Representative Tony Gonzales of Texas. It says, military service at any level is an act of valor. Embellishing your record is not. I proudly served 20 years in the U.S. Navy with multiple deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. Retired as a Master Chief. Yes, that makes me the highest ranked enlisted service member to ever serve in Congress, a claim Governor Walsh has falsely paraded around. It's important to call out dishonesty. Tim-Walz should immediately be withdrawn as the vice presidential nominee. And I'm always hesitant personally to talk about stories like this because, I've never served in combat. I'm just a civilian who talks into her camera. And I'm thankful to everyone who served because my lazy ass didn't. But I lay that on the table and then I set it aside because whether I was in the military or not, whether you were in the military or not, you know what lying is, you know what embellishing is. And that's what Tim-Walz's record seems to do. Being this precious gem of a man that he is, Tony Gonzales did a phone interview with the Federalist where he talked about the claims of stolen valor. And one specific comment that Walz has made that you've probably heard in the news a lot about how he carried weapons of war, yet he never went to war. So odd, right? Well, in the article, I want to pull this up for you guys. He says, nobody who served forgets his duty history. So this is Tony Gonzales saying anyone who served 3 years or 30 years knows exactly what they did and didn't do. I did 20 years in. I remember all my deployments, commands, and final pay grades. When somebody at the Federalist asked him about Walz's remarks about, quote, weapons of war that I carried, that's what Tim-Walz said, and the Federalist reporter is asking Tony Gonzales about this. He said that Walz was claiming to serve in combat, and this upset him because, if you carried a weapon in combat, you would know. It's okay that not every service member goes to war, but let your record be your record, right? This wouldn't be a problem if Tim-Walz just let his record be his record. Then he'd be the second highest, ranked enlisted service member in Congress. That's not problematic at all. And now one thing I want to harp on is people out there, including Tony Gonzales, calling on Tim-Walz to withdraw from the VP nomination because of these lies and because of this deception. I am firmly against this, okay? I thought that any smart politician in Kamala Harris's role would have picked a much better running mate than that dude. He's radical, he's got a terrible record, he's clearly a liar, and he watched his state burn over race riots just 4 years ago. It was political malpractice for the Harris campaign to pick this guy. He's much easier to run against. So as a conservative, I am not in favor of Tim-Walz stepping down over his lies. Just run against them.